On quiet Irish roads, long after the villages have gone dark, there is said to be a rider who travels without a head. They say if you hear the thunder of hooves in the distance, you should never look behind you, because if you see him, it may already be too late. In the folklore of Ireland, there is a terrifying figure known as the Dullahan, a headless rider who carries his own severed head beneath his arm. And wherever he stops riding, someone nearby is destined to die. The Dullahan is one of the oldest and most feared figures in Irish folklore. Unlike ghosts or wandering spirits, the Dullahan is not simply a restless soul. He is believed to be a messenger of death, riding across the countryside to claim a life. Stories describe him as a dark rider on a black horse cloaked in shadow. But what makes him truly terrifying is what he carries: his own head. The head is said to have pale skin, a twisted grin, and wide eyes that can see across miles of countryside in the dark. Some legends even claim his mouth stretches from ear to ear, frozen in a terrible smile. In his hand, the Dullahan does not carry a sword. Instead, folklore says he holds a whip made from a human spine, and the wagon or carriage he rides is said to be made from bones, the wheels formed from skulls and ribs. When he rides through the night, the sound of the carriage is said to echo across fields and lonely roads, and when he stops riding, someone nearby will soon die. One of the most chilling details of the legend is what happens when the Dullahan reaches his destination. According to old Irish stories, he stops before a house and calls out a name. The moment that name is spoken, the person's life ends instantly. No door can keep him out. No lock can stop him. The Dullahan always arrives exactly when death has come. For centuries, people living in rural Ireland were deeply afraid of encountering the Dullahan. Farmers returning home late at night would hurry along dark country roads, avoiding lonely crossroads where the rider was said to appear. Some villagers even believed that if you accidentally saw the Dullahan riding past, he might throw a bucket of blood at you to mark you as his next victim. It was considered a terrible omen. But strangely, the Dullahan has one weakness. In Irish folklore, it is said that the headless rider cannot stand the sight of gold. Even a small piece of gold placed before him is enough to force him to retreat. Why gold? No one truly knows. Some believe it represents purity or divine power, something that even a messenger of death cannot cross. Legends of the Dullahan are believed to date back centuries, possibly tied to ancient Celtic myths about death spirits and warriors who carried severed heads into battle. In Celtic culture, the head was considered the seat of the soul. Because of this belief, stories of headless spirits became powerful symbols of death and the supernatural. Over time, these stories evolved into the terrifying rider, now known as the Dullahan. Today, the legend of the Dullahan remains one of Ireland's most chilling folk tales. Some even believe the story inspired the famous Headless Horseman in Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But the Irish version is far darker. Because the Dullahan is not just a ghost. He is not haunting a battlefield or a forgotten road. He rides with a purpose. And when his horse finally stops, someone's time has come. So if you ever find yourself on a lonely road in Ireland, and you hear the sound of hooves behind you, do not turn around. Because somewhere in the darkness, the Headless Rider may already be watching. And if the Dullahan has come for your name, there is no place left to run.